What's up? It's Yoshi, and this is going to be the only video that covers this topic probably. I probably will not talk about it again unless something warrants it, but even then, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna waste my time talking about it again. But I just wanted to discuss the issues that is the animatronic community, which I do not consider myself a part of. I solely enjoy this, and I found some really good friends within it, but for the most part, the animatronic community is very toxic and is full of a lot of negativity. And I've noticed that the animatronic community mostly consists of younger individuals, which I myself am young. I'm 22 years old, but compared to the general population that is the animatronic community, I'm considered older, I guess. But people think I'm younger. People think I'm 13 or 15. I mean, people outside of the fandom who I just see on a regular basis think I'm still 16 in high school, which I honestly feel very complimented by because I still get carded at the bar, which is fantastic. And I hope to be carded until I'm 40 years old. So I consider that a compliment when I am seen as young, but when you're seen as young in the animatronic fandom or community, it's not a good thing because people for some reason automatically assume that you're younger than them, which I think is a strange thing to assume, because why are you even assuming someone's age to begin with? The thing is, the way people choose to act does not relate to maturity whatsoever. So if someone chooses to show their personality a little more, they want to show who they authentically are, and if they're a little crazy and a little wild, it's seen as childish or immature. But in reality, toxicity and drama is what's immature. I like to show that I'm a very goofy individual and I'm having a good time. Okay, I'm having a good time. I very much so live a careless lifestyle, in a sense that, you know, you only live once. Live how you want to, and don't live for other people, and don't let other people's opinions dictate the way you choose to live your own life, because ultimately you're here once, you got one shot. Have a good time. It doesn't really matter what other people think, because if other people are choosing to bring you down or they're choosing to criticize you or something, that says a lot more about them than it says about you. If you're inherently doing nothing wrong and you're not causing harm to anybody else, you're not really doing anything wrong. And it says a lot more about someone who's trying to bring you down to their level than it does about you who's trying to have a good time. Because I got news for you. I know how to completely change my attitude and change how I present myself depending on the situation that requires it. I managed to land myself a full-time offer at Mattel my junior year of college, and I'm finishing up my senior year right now. I'm a pretty respectable person in my real life. I do have contacts with some of the vice presidents and chief executives at toy companies, and I also worked my way up to be able to be acknowledged by these people and have worked very hard to get to where I'm at. I don't share that on YouTube necessarily because that's not the side of my life that I'm sharing on YouTube right now. I'm solely sharing things that I'm interested in and want to share with other people because I think it is fun and entertaining, and I'm having a good time, and if I can help other people have a good time, then that's all I'm here to do, okay? That's not to pat myself on the back, but it's to say that don't judge somebody based off of who you think they are on the outside, because they have way more to them than what they're showing you on the internet. A lot of people don't show themselves on the internet already because they're simply not comfortable with showing their face, or they're not comfortable with showing any aspects of themselves, which is completely fair. I've always been into making videos and have been into like sharing things online and stuff, so I'm fine with it, and I have a pretty thick skin and don't really care what happens, I guess. I don't know how to say it. I like to share things on the internet because I've always liked making videos and stuff, and I know what comes with the internet. You get people who just talk, and the animatronic community has been one of the worst and most vile communities I have ever dared to associate with, okay? Solely just being interested in the topic and then just coming across of how absolutely horrible a lot of the people are. And a lot of people are young in the animatronic community. Like I said previously, a lot of people are high schoolers or younger, but for some reason everyone assumes that you're younger than them, which I think is very bizarre. Like a lot of the communities that I'm in have a lot of older people in them because they're older properties. So I'm very into vintage toys. So a lot of those community members are older people and they're not younger. So the animatronic community is one of the only communities I guess I've interacted with that have a lot of young people in it. A lot of the people I'm used to interacting with are older individuals, which is fine. I think it's fine. You could see the maturity level difference there, okay? You can see it. It's very much there. And there's a lot of just trying to bring people down, making fun of people, and trying to find everything that they're doing wrong is what I'm noticing and stuff. And let me tell you something with that is a lot of people, well, the animatronic community is very niche. So by a lot of people, I mean people who are in it, who are working on animatronics and stuff like that, are not showing their progress every single step they're doing along the way online. So they're looking like they're doing it perfectly, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to remember, if someone's showing their along the way process and they're making mistakes along the way, that's called learning, and that's perfectly normal in learning how to do something. And that's how you get better at it as you go, is you learn that this wasn't maybe the right way to do it, or this could have been done more efficiently, and you do it that way. But not everybody is showing their entire progress online. And there's a lot of people who were once pretty open about their participation in the hobby and have since gone silent and have since backed out and kind of started doing things privately because of this very issue of people being just literally a bunch of assholes, for lack of better terms, okay? A lot of people who don't actually work on these things themselves, commenting as if they're experts, or people who are just being really obnoxious and acting like they're experts in things where it's like, does it really, we're all trying to learn here, does it really matter? Like, at the end of the day, there's a difference in someone who knows what they're doing and someone who doesn't. The toxicity and the drama is ridiculous. I'm not in this community. I lurk because I like to see if things are for sale and stuff like that, because I am interested in buying more characters in the future. I don't plan on buying an entire set because I have friends who are doing that already, okay? I don't need my own entire band, okay? I can go to their house and see their band or whatever because I got other things to do. This is just a side thing that I like to do for fun when I'm not doing everything else. I'm not an active participant. I try not to be, okay? It's unfortunate that I have to be like that because I would love to be an active participant, but I don't want to be. Not in this, absolutely not. So that's where I'm at. I'm not 13 and I'm not 16. I take a lot of pride in looking incredibly young because hell, youth is, you know, if I can look young forever, that's what we're trying to do here. That's what we're trying to do. But I am 22 years old with a full-time job in the horizons. I am a senior engineering major, specifically a manufacturing engineering major with a concentration in Lean and Six Sigma, which I could go on about. Nobody wants to hear that. But I'm an engineering student with a 3.4 GPA in engineering, okay? So anyone who's been in engineering or knows, that's not too shabby, okay? A 3.4 in engineering is not too shabby. I'm my senior year in college, finishing up. I'm moving in a year, in under a year now. It's under a year now. I will be in California come the beginning of 2025. I will be completely moved, and this is my parents' basement right now. I live 2.5 hours away from here when I'm at school, so I'm barely at home. Like, I'm at home for breaks, and when I come over for weekends and stuff, sometimes I come over, but I'm not home 90% of the time. I'm at school. I live in an apartment with my friends, okay? I'm a fully functioning, self-sufficient adult that is trying to get done with school, and I'm here every once in a while. And yeah, that's pretty much what it is. So I don't know if I talked about everything that I need to talk about. I feel like there's like so much that I wanted to say, and I've been rambling, and this is why I needed a script. This is why I needed a script. But anyway, that's who I am. If you're wondering why my YouTube description looks like a LinkedIn profile, it is because I am somewhat involved with the animatronic community. Okay, that's why. So my YouTube profile needs to look like a LinkedIn bio. Okay, I didn't want it to have to look like a LinkedIn bio, but for some reason everyone assumes everything about everyone, and stop doing that. Stop it, because you know, I've had 2 years ago, I was a completely different person who was just going through shit. Okay, I think we all go through our low times, and I was going through absolute shit. My life absolutely sucked. Okay, and that's just a part of growing up and finding out who you are as a person and stuff like that. And we all go through our lows, we all go through our ups and downs, but it's not really okay to see someone who's doing well and think their life is so perfect and that's all their life has ever been, and try to bring them down because you're not okay with where you are at currently, and you're just upset that someone's doing better than you because you don't know where that person was, or you don't know where that person has gotten to and how much work they have put into getting to where they are. 2 years ago, I'm not going into details about my life because who the hell needs that on YouTube? Nobody needs that. But 2 years ago, I was nowhere near where I'm at now, landing myself a job, also doing all this with animatronics and stuff like that. This is like a pretty recent thing. This is what I'm deciding to do with myself. I bought him with my own money, okay? I worked at Mattel over the summer. I paid for him in full with my own money, with money left over. And I fund this hobby completely myself, with occasionally asking for gifts from my parents and stuff. But this is all 100% me. I make all of my money. Considering most people are in high school who do work, who are in the animatronic community, I probably make triple your salary with my career, with my job that I have landed. And I also have multiple jobs in school right now that I make money. So I do commission work, and then I'm also a teacher's assistant for my computer-aided drafting class at my school. And then I also model for the art department as well. So I make money. I make money. I put all this work into getting where I'm at. This was not just handed to me or given to me. I went out of my way to get to where I want to be. I knew this is something that I wanted to do. I eventually wanted to work for my dream toy company, Mattel, and I put in the work to get there. I got their attention. I reached out to them. I sent them my portfolio, and they were interested. And let me tell you one thing too. One thing about the animatronic community and being so quick to call things childish is I build models, okay? I build models out of craft supplies like foam core, cardboard, sticks, whatever, you name it. Stuff that you'd like to consider, I don't know, kindergarten art projects, preschool art projects, things that kids do. Well, I have you know that my model building skills helped land me my job that I have, where I now get paid to do that very thing that some people in the animatronic community think is childish. Okay, I have you know, my manager at Mattel was a former Disney Imagineer and also movie prop maker. And his primary job at Disney was to make the models of the parks, okay? And the rides, specifically Rock and Roller Coaster in Florida. He designed the Rock and Roller Coaster in Florida, and life-size rides are one-to-one replications of the model that the people make beforehand. Model making is very much so a talent to have, and something that should not be overlooked as just a childish art project, because if you have the engineering capabilities and model making skills, you can get a job that pays very well in that very skill set, okay? And I caught his attention. It was one of the factors that caught his attention was my model making skills. Was he wanted someone on Hot Wheels who can not only draw and ideate concepts, but someone who can also build those concepts out to realize them and test them out in real life. Okay, so that's what I do at Mattel. I build models. I design things. I draw them out. I draw mechanisms, ideas out. I draw them, come up with just different brainstorms, and then I build the one-to-one scale model out of foam core to test it out, to pitch to the sales team, to pitch to the marketing team, see if they like it, show that this is my concept from the drawing, and then this is my concept that I built, to show them that this is how it works and this is how it can work, okay? So model building is a very much so career that pays. So to anyone who thinks it's a childish hobby, it's not. I don't know, in summary to all this is, don't judge people based off of the snippet of their life that they show online. Because the fact that that person's already showing their life online is already more than you're probably doing. Because not a lot of people have the balls to show a little bit of their life online, let alone anything. So stop judging people from what they're showing, okay? Some people are just trying to enjoy themselves and share what they love with others who also love it and just have a good time. That's all we're trying to do. And also, stop putting other people down. Okay, that's ridiculous, and that's immature behavior. Immature behavior is bringing others down because you're not happy with where you're at in life, or you can't admit that you're not happy where you are in life. Is putting other people down because you're not happy. That's not fair to anybody else, and anybody who is being brought down by anyone, fuck them, because you're obviously doing something that they're not, and that's the only reason why they're talking to you. That's what it is, okay? You can argue about that all you want, but at the end of the day, most people who are mean and who are jerks to other people are usually not happy with something in their own life. I'm nice. I try to show my support whenever I do feel like interacting with people, because I don't have anything to gain from bringing anyone else down. I'm doing my own thing. I'm on my own life path, and that's all that I am doing right now. I don't need to bring anyone else down. I don't even know how long I've been talking. Yeah, see, I told you I'd just go on a rant. I'm gonna go on a rant, and then this is where it's turning into. So good people don't need to bring other people down because they're focused on themselves, and that's all they're focused on, and that's all they need to be focused on, is where they're at, who the relationships they choose to keep in their life, they choose to make in their life, and how they can better themselves and get themselves in a position where they're happy with themselves. We don't have time. We don't have time to bring others down or get online and be a complete asshole just for no reason, okay? There's no reason. And naturally, success is gonna come with that. That just is what happens when people see that you're doing something, that you're enjoying yourself, and they're not enjoying themselves. Okay, that's just life, and you kind of learn as you go, okay? I've had a lot of real life experience through high school. High school sucked, okay? I hated every second of high school, and I'm very happy that COVID cut my senior year short because I was going insane. So I'm very happy that COVID cut my high school career short. Thank the Lord. But I've had a lot of real life experience of this similar thing, that the way people online act, but it's just even worse online because you get to hide behind a keyboard, never show your face, go completely anonymous, and be a complete jerk to everybody. And you don't know what other people are going through, and you should not be wasting your time replying to people like that, or waste your time giving them any of you, which is why this is the only time I'm ever going to address this, probably. And yeah, I'm not patting myself on the back in this video. I'm just solely telling you who I am.